Okay, suppose I want to draw a triangle on my screen, okay? And I want it to be kind of like, maybe right here, like this. Boom, 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 like that, okay? So I got to kind of think about the way I'm going to draw 3 lines to make that triangle. I'm going to be about halfway up my page in the Y and only about 100 pixels over in my X, maybe a little less. So I'm going to draw a line, okay? Let me get rid of my crazy loop here. Oops. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw a line. Draw a line works exactly like draw a box. You give it the bottom right and the top. You basically give it the start and the end location. So draw a line. I said about 100 pixels over and about halfway up is 400. And then I got to figure out how much over and up I want to go from those 2 points. So I'm going to say I'm going to maybe go over 20 pixels, but I can't write 20 there. I have to write 120 because I started at the point 100. And then in my Y, maybe I also want to go up 20 pixels. So I'm going to say, I can't say 20, I have to say 420 because I have to go 20 from my starting position. And then I'm going to pick a color. I don't know what color this is, but I'm going to pick 16. Okay? Let's see if that draws a line on the screen. I don't see it, I see it, but it's very faded. Okay, so it's not a good color to pick. If I go to Turing color chart again, maybe I'll pick something a little more vibrant. Oops. I'm going to pick 85, a pink triangle, okay? It's important that all 3 lines are the same color, by the way. So what did I say, 85? 85. Okay, great. Run it. Perfect. Okay. Doesn't show up great there, but there it is. It's up 20 and over 20. So now my next line should start at the final line. My next line should start at these 2 points, right? It should start where the other one stopped. So I'm going to write draw line. And a good idea sometimes, especially when you have a ton of draw commands, is to add some comments here. Triangle. Triangle 1 or whatever. Okay? Triangle 1. Okay, so this next line is going to start where the other one left off. It should probably go another 20 over from there. So I'm going to write 140 because it's 120 here. And then it should probably end 20 down at 400. So it kind of starts where the other one left off, but moved over 40 pixels. So let's look at that. This is an excellent way to get used to the pixels on the screen and where all those numbers are. Hey, look, I already have a bird on my code if I wanted to leave it like that. Okay. And then my last line is going to be starting where the other one left off, right? So I'll say 140, 400. Yes? And I have to end where the first one started. It's mostly just common sense picking of numbers. It'll take you a while to get used to it. And that should draw 3 lines that connect to give me a triangle. So you're saying, okay, yeah, there's my triangle. Good job, sir. How the heck do I fill that in? And the answer is there is a draw fill command. It's much like a paint bucket in a paint program. Okay, let's look at it here. It's called draw fill. Draw fill. Flood fill an area is what it says. It takes 4 things. It takes an X and a Y, so any point inside of that triangle is what I need. And then it takes a fill color, and it also needs to know the color of the border. That's really weird, but that's just how it works. It's going to go through, and it does like its own little procedure on how to kind of fill that shape in, and I'm sure it's complicated, and we don't really know what goes on under the hood. We just know to give it a point inside of the triangle, so I can do that. Shouldn't be too hard to give a point inside of that triangle. Draw fill. It's just called draw fill. So I'm going to pick a point kind of halfway in between 100 and 140 because I know that will be a good point in the X. So I'm going to pick 120. And then I'm going to pick a point maybe a little bit higher than 400 so that I know I'm inside of that circle. I'm going to pick 410 because my triangle is 20 high. So that'll be a point inside the triangle, hopefully. And then for the fill and border colors, I always leave them the same. I leave them the colors of the edges. You just have to put it in twice. And that should fill in that triangle. Okay? What happens if you don't pick a point inside that triangle? Let's watch. Let's say I don't pick 400. Let's say I pick 390, which is below the triangle. Watch what'll happen. It filled it in no problem. It just filled in everything that wasn't the triangle because I didn't give it a point inside of it. Okay? So make sure you're clever about how you pick your points. There you go. Triangle and Turing. Yeah. And I'll freeze the screen and I'll post this on YouTube too.